Hey Broncos country, Alexis Perry here, joined by Broncos General Manager George Paton, just a few hours removed from the NFL trade deadline. George, we'll get to the big news here in just a minute, but as we continue to learn more about you and your philosophies as a general manager, I know there's a fine line between being a buyer and a seller at the deadline. So how and where do you draw that line?
You just have to know your team and where you are and where you're going. And so I think there's a fine line. And that's kind of what we do. We're in every deal as we are, in the draft and everything else. And we were in every deal here. And, we made 2 trades and obviously one significant trade.
Yes, big time sellers on Sunday night as you guys traded Von Miller to the LA Rams in exchange for a couple of day 2 picks in the upcoming draft. Can you take Broncos country through that trade and some of the discussions that were had?
Yes, so this, obviously we didn't take this lightly. This is an iconic player, Von Miller. And so a lot of thought, a lot of discussion went into it. We just thought at the end of the day it was a win-win for Von, a win-win for the Broncos. We were able to send Von to an organization that's 7-1, top defense, and a great franchise. And at the same time, we were able to get some draft capital that's only going to help us down the road, give us a lot more flexibility. And so it was a win-win for both sides.
You mentioned the Rams 7-1. How important was it for you guys to send Von Miller to a legitimate contender, a place where he had the chance to win another
Yeah,
Super Bowl?
it was very important. Von's done so much good here for the past 11 years. We wanted to do right by Von. We weren't going to send him to just some team that wasn't going to go to the playoffs. We wanted to send him to a contender, with a great coach, a great organization, and we feel like we did that.
How much did the unknown nature of Von's future here in Denver play a role into pulling the trigger?
It played a role. His contract was up at the end of the season. There was uncertainty whether we could sign him. And so, we just thought it was the best move for us at this time. We're not rebuilding, but we're always building. And just to be able to get those picks and the value was exceptional, but they got an exceptional player.
While this is your first year as general manager, you know the impact that Von Miller has had on this team. So how would you describe the legacy that he leaves behind here in Denver?
Oh, an incredible legacy. Not only as a player, Super Bowl MVP and all the awards, perennial Pro Bowler and All-Pro, and Walter Payton, a Man of the Year award nominee, and just so many things. And I know how big he is. I admired Von from afar, and so obviously didn't take this lightly. This is something we thought about a lot, and so when I had that conversation with Von, it wasn't easy. But again, I think we did right by Von, and it was a win-win.
Well, last week you brought in a couple of defensive guys, Stephen Weatherly and Kenny Young. What is it about their game that really impressed you and you felt like would be a good fit?
Right, they're both really athletic. Kenny Young, was a starter for the Rams, and the Sunday before we traded for him, he had 7 tackles, a sack, and a tackle for loss. So Kenny can really run. He brings juice. He brings energy. And the main thing is he played at UCLA, so you know how that goes. I think we needed a UCLA player, but no, really good player. He's going to help us. He played well in the first game. Stephen Weatherly, obviously I knew from Minnesota, another pro. He's long, he's athletic. He'll help us on the edge, and he'll help us as a pass rusher.
Obviously, you definitely needed those guys, given
Yes.
the absurd number of injuries that this team is dealing with, similar to last season. How does that change your daily and even weekly workflow as you're trying to fill holes in this roster?
Yeah, no, it's taken really a lot of time, and that's part of the league, and every team kind of goes through it at some point during the season. I think we lost, at the Cleveland game, we were down 8 linebackers, and so it's really hard to prepare for that. But we have a great pro staff with A.J. Durso. Darren Muji kind of runs our department. He's our director of player personnel. So I have a really good staff that helped me through all those moves.
At the midway point in the season, this team has its best record through 8 games since 2016. They're 4-4, but it's felt like we've been going through some ups and downs so far this season. So what is your general assessment of where this team is at right now?
It's a long season, and you go through ebbs and flows. We've gone through a lot of adversity through those 4 games, and that's just the way it is. And the good teams can bounce back, and I like the way we bounced back against Washington. It wasn't pretty, but we won the game. And when you win in this league, it's hard to win in this league. So we're 4-4. Everything's in front of us. It's up to us, and I like our chances. I like our players. They're working hard, and we'll see how it goes.
Your first draft class is 8 games into their first year in the league. What do you think about your rookie class?
Yeah, I'm really impressed. And it starts with Patrick Surtain. He's been a pro. really good cover skills. He's tackling better. He was struggling with some tackling, but he doesn't get phased. Javonte Williams is a playmaker in the run and pass game. Baron Browning's starting now. Quinn Miners has started. Caden Stearns is a big part of our dime package, and Jonathan Cooper's starting. So we have other guys playing special teams. So really like the group. Again, it's going to help with our foundation, and we just need to keep adding more draft classes, more players.
With a lot of expiring contracts at the end of the year, there's a chance that this team could look significantly different next season. So how do you go about evaluating your current roster throughout a season?
No, you evaluate your roster every day, and you evaluate them on the field, you evaluate them off the field, and that's kind of what I do, my staff do, we do every day. And at the end of the season, really we meet every week as a staff, and we give grades to our players, and then at the end of the season we do a deep dive and decide who we want to bring back and where we need to upgrade and where our needs are. And so it's a long process, but you evaluate your team every day.
Well, the guys that are here, they want to win. There's 17 games this season. So much football left in this season, of course. So what are some of the things that you want to see this team improve upon as they make that push for the playoffs?
Right, I just think we need to improve in all three phases, just be more consistent. On offense, just run the ball more consistently, make more big plays. Defensively, we're giving up a lot of big plays in the pass game. I think we've improved on that. We need to continue to improve on, run defense. And then on special teams, I think we've gotten a lot better. The young guys have grown up, but we went through a stretch where we give up one bad play a game, and I think we've improved. So we need to improve in all three phases, and I think we're on track to do that.
All right, George, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very
I appreciate
much.
it. I'm sure we'll catch up at the end of the year.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.